Hey guys, it's Keenya Kelly, business calibration consultant for KenyaKelly.com. And if you are watching this on the replay, thanks so much for watching on the replay. You can always comment on the replay and then I'll get an alert and I'll be able to comment back to you. If you have questions on the replay, feel free to ask questions, or you can actually send me a private message. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. You guys can always come back and watch all of my previous videos. It's probably about 500 videos. You can watch them by going to youtube.com/KenyaKelly81. That is youtube.com/KenyaKelly81. If you are watching this live, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Keenya Kelly. It is September the 20th and it's 9 a.m. ish, September 20th, 2017, and I'm excited to be here with you guys this good morning. If this is your first time watching me live, go ahead and type #new. If you've been here before, you can go ahead and type #dope. That way I know you're part of my dope squad. Give me just a moment. I'm going to share this broadcast, and then if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, I'd appreciate it. Sharing is caring. Sharing allows me to be able to talk to more people, and so when you guys share, that's pretty much what happens. So give me just a moment and I'm going to share this, okay? So give me just a moment, you guys. I'm going to share. And then we're going to get started on today's broadcast. All right, so just a moment. I'm sharing. Good morning, Wanza. Good morning, Sheila. Thanks so much for joining. Hold on, one more share. All right, whoops, didn't mean to do that. All right, let's see. There we go. Perfect. All right, I'm done. Okay. Put this over there. All right. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. And so I woke up this morning, of course, excited as always. And I'm getting ready to go to the gym when I get off of here. But I thought about some of the questions that I've been getting on a lot of my live streams and things of that nature. And so I said, okay, well, we're going to talk about them this morning. But again, this is your first time watching me, go ahead and type #new. If you've been here before, you can type #dope. And so again, my name is Keenya Kelly. I am the business calibration consultant for KenyaKelly.com. And if you brand it, I help entrepreneurs to figure out what they want to do with their life for the rest of their lives and be able to turn it into a profitable business. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I loved my job when I worked, a job. I made 6 figures at my last job and it was a great job, but there was always just something in me that just wanted more. And then there was something in me that didn't want to be bossed around. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to dig deep within myself, figure out who I was, what I had to offer, and I had to be willing to take the leap, which means that I had to be willing to talk to God and get a creative idea, get a creative strategy. I had to begin to invest money to learn the things that I didn't know because I couldn't just go and quit my job because I still had to eat to live. So I had to dig deep and find out who I was, what I had to offer, and what people would be willing to pay for from me. And I had to start that business while working a full-time job, right? So if you're watching this and you have a full-time job, just say that's me. And so I was working my full-time job and having this thing on the inside of me, trying to figure out, how do I get it out? How do I make money from it? How do I do it? Like when I get home, like at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I'm tired. How do I stay motivated? How do I not go to bed at 6:30? Right, Wanza? So how do you not go to bed at 6:30 when you get home? Because you're like, oh my God, that was such a stressful day. But fast forward, I started my first personal business back in 2012. It was a company called Return of the Curls, where we help women with curly hair learn what to do with their hair. Ran that business while I was working a full-time job. Eventually, I left my job and worked that full-time. Then went back to work after going through a divorce and started making 6 figures at my job, but there was still that thing on the inside of me, and I still had that other business, Return of the Curls, but other things were inside of me, and I wanted to get them out. But I knew that making 6 figures, I didn't want to go from $20,000 a year to 6 figures to back to 20. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. So I knew that while working my 6-figure job that I had to make 6 figures with something else, right? And so what that meant was that I was going to have to work from like 8 to faint, right? And faint means until you faint, go to sleep, right? So that meant that I was getting up at whatever time to get ready for work, going to work on my lunch break instead of just hanging out and just scrolling on Facebook. I had to work on my lunch break, right? You know, when I got off of work, I wasn't off from work. The moment I got in the car or got out of the office, I was on for my business, right? And doing that every single day until. And so one of the questions that I get often is, how in the world do you stay motivated, right? Like if you're watching this and, you know, some of you guys been following me for a little while, and if you've watched me and you said, I don't know how she does it, like I just want you to see if any of y'all have felt that way. You know, I've had a couple people say that to me, but I just wonder if some of my faithful people have ever wondered how in the world I stay motivated. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Candace. Thanks for joining. You know, and so I want to chat with you guys this morning about that, but I do want you guys to be interactive with me, so talk back to me. Also, for those of you guys that are just joining and you're like, oh, what's going on back there? So this is my new set, right? It's my first time designing a wall in my house. I'm 36 years old and I've never designed a wall in my house. I know it's crazy, right? Like I've always had apartments and they've never had anything on the walls because Martha Stewart does not live here. She does not live within me. I'm trying to put her in by Pinterest and all of that, you know, so 36 years and not decorating a wall. So this, my friends, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. Okay. So this is my new set. And so the set is actually for me, but when I was walking around Hobby Lobby, I thought about you guys, right? So we're going to talk about staying motivated. But when I was walking around Hobby Lobby, I thought about you guys. And I said, well, what is it that they watch me for? Yeah, it's information, but what else is it? And one of the first things I thought about was this one. This says, be fearless. You know, I know a lot of people are going like, Keenya is so fearless. How in the world is she's just so fearless? And it does take, you know, you have fear. There's no such thing as fearless. Like you have fear, but you move in spite of fear. So I thought about that when I got this one. But then I know that I'm also very adventurous. Like the Holy Spirit told me to sell everything and move to Texas. And I did. Like 6 months later, I was gone. You hear what I'm saying? Not really knowing if I was going to have a job. I put my notice in and all that. But thank God, you know, I did get transferred. So this says, blessed are the curious, for they shall have adventures. And so you guys are going to get a lot of adventure from me. This right here says, welcome to my crib. This says, God is good, y'all. This says, grace changes everything. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Y'all know I love Jesus. And then this says, on a bad day, there is always lipstick. I always tell y'all, I always have on my lipstick and my earrings. And then this says, love never fails. Okay. So my set is for me, but it's also, for you guys, this says love is spoken here. And this says eat, sleep, pray, repeat. Okay, so this is my new set. All right, so y'all gonna be seeing this. If for whatever reason I start getting froggy, I might start changing it up, but we'll figure it out. I did have this, just FYI. I had this and I wanted to put this on here, but I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to get this thing to stay. Like it's pretty heavy and the hooks are down here, so I need some hooks up here. Now, if one of y'all live in Houston and you want to come and get this thing to the wall, you are welcome to come to my house and get this thing on the wall. This is my favorite one. Why? It's a K, right? So if you want to get this to the wall, I would appreciate it if you live in Houston, okay? All right, so hold on. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about staying motivated, all right? Now, if you guys wouldn't mind, please share this broadcast. I'd appreciate it so much. I'd appreciate it so much. That way, sharing is caring. So, let's talk about staying motivated. So, one of the things you need to understand about motivation is that motivation comes from within. Listen, motivation comes from within. So, what does that mean? What that means is that, you know, there's not always going to be somebody telling you to get up, do it, right? There's not always going to be that CD may not motivate you. You know what I mean? That goal or whatever may not motivate you. From the core within, something in you has to say, I am going to do this until, right? It's like I used to have a saying, I will until. Something in you has to trigger, right? Because one of the things to understand, especially in the mornings, is that our beds are super warm, right? And if you have a pillow top or if you're married and your spouse is in there, you're like, yes, right? And so you don't want to get out of bed, right? Especially if you don't have to. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go to the gym. You know what I mean? You don't have to drink water. Y'all see what, y'all know what I mean, but you know what I'm saying? And so, but something causes you to get up out of bed, right? So one of the reasons why we get out of bed every morning to go to work is because we need to make money, right? Like, we have rent, we have a mortgage, we have lights, water, electricity, you have phone bills, you have light bills, and then you want to eat, right? You need to be able to have money so you can eat. So you're motivated by, those factors, that if you don't go to work, you won't get paid. If you don't go to work, you could get fired, right? And so that's one reason why people are motivated. Some people are motivated, like, let's talk about physical fitness. Some people are motivated physically because if they don't do certain things, they could die, right? And so sometimes we spend our whole lives and we're like, haphazardly living our lives, and we don't think about our health until our doctor says, if you don't do this, this could happen. And you're like, ding, okay, so I can't let that happen. I have got to do something. So you become motivated by a factor like that, right? But I want to chat with you guys about when it's not do or die, right? Like, when you already have a job and it's paying your bills, right? Even if it's just enough, it's paying your bills. You may not be as motivated, right? But if you really want to have, you know how the Bible talks about to leave an inheritance to your children's children. So here's what that means to me. What that means is that you have some options. You're doing something that's making you money. It's sustaining you. You're having a good time. You're able to go on vacation. You're able to do certain things and all that, right? But it's not an access, right? When you're just kind of making just enough, or so to speak, right? But the Bible talks about leaving an inheritance. And so when you think about an inheritance, that means that you've got a ton of money in your checking account, your savings account. You've got investments that's paying you, and you ain't even thinking about it. You, at this point, you ain't think about money. Money is not your issue, right? So now you are motivating yourself and staying motivated because you're thinking about not just your current kids, because you're already taking care of them because they're part of your expenses, but you're thinking about their kids, and then their kids' kids, and their kids' kids, right? So you begin to think about all those types of things, and that's when you have to make yourself stay motivated, because you could be selfish and think about yourself and be just fine, right? And from a technical standpoint, it's okay, unless, you're a Christian and, you're Bible believing, because the Bible says that a good man or woman leaves an inheritance to his children's children, right? So how do you stay motivated in that? Well, one of the things that you have to understand is that at some point in your life, and the sooner the better, you've got to look at your life in terms of long term, right? You have to look at your life in terms of long term, because if you only live for today and something happens tomorrow is going to shipwreck you, right? So I'll give you guys an example. Right now, I'm not married, I'm not engaged, right? And so I don't have any obligations but me and my cats, right? And so people say, Keenya, you're doing a lot. Wow, how are you doing all that? Why are you doing all that? Because I'm thinking for the long term. I don't know how much my husband has. Like, I don't know who he is, right? I don't know if he is a factory worker. No disrespect to factory workers. I don't know if that's his case. I don't know if he's on an hourly wage and it's not very high. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I do know that in this season that God has given me creative strategies. He's given me wisdom. He's given me people. He's given me resources to be able to go out and generate revenue. And so I'm able to create a business or businesses with the potential of being able to pay me over and over and over again, even after I stop working. That I have the potential for that. I know that's what I have in my life. I don't know what's going on with him right now, right? And I know that I want children, and I know that I want to be around those children. What does that mean? That means that when, it's daytime and my kid is like, Mommy, I want to be able to be like, hey, and not always on conference calls, not always on stuff. I want to be present with the kid, right? Kids or whatever, right? And I'm just being funny saying the kid. I know that when my kid has stuff at school, I want to be able to go, right? I know that if we want to take a vacation, that where we go shouldn't be dictated on, you know, our the amount of money we have in our account, right? Now, sometimes that's the case, but I'm in a place in a single life where I can like go, okay, I can work from 8 to faint right now and nobody will tell me what to do. And not in a bad way, meaning that there's no other obligations. I don't have to do anything with someone. I don't have to do anything for anybody. And so right now I have this time where I can do all this stuff, create all this stuff and put all these systems in place so that when that time comes, you know, we have something in place that I set up, right? It's like one of the things I've said my entire life, you know, I don't like cleaning baseboards. That's just me. I don't like baseboard. I don't like cleaning shower curtains. They burn up all your nose hairs. You spray this stuff and it's burning up all your nose hairs. And I'm just like, I ain't got time. Don't be bothered with shower curtains, right? And so, oh, that's neat. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, snap. Okay, sorry. A new update. So it looks like on your Facebook business page, you can go live with somebody. Hey, okay. Update Facebook. Thank you. So, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So I know that I've always wanted to hire a part-time cleaning crew for my home when I have kids and have a husband. Why? I don't want to spend my time doing that. That's just me, right? That doesn't make me lazy. I clean now, but I'm like, if I could do something while I'm single that can create the type of money to be able to do that, then I'll do that, right? And so I'm motivated by that fact, right? I'm motivated by the fact that, you know, I know what my dream car is. My dream car is a GL 550. It's a GL, is it 550? Yeah, GL 550. It's a Mercedes-Benz SUV. The car is like $100,000, right? The car is like $100,000. And I'm not sitting around waiting on some man to buy it for me. Now, don't get it twisted. If my future spouse buys me a GL 550, love you. Remember that song, Love You Long Time, right? But I'm not sitting around waiting on somebody to do that. What I am doing is I'm creating, God has given me creative strategies and wisdom to create wealth so that one day I'll be able to have that car and I'm not living in an apartment with a $100,000 car. You see what I mean? So I'm motivated by that, right? I'm also motivated by the fact that one of the things that I want to do when I do get a spouse is I want to spend time with them, right? Like I want to spend time with them, not just where we live. I want to go across the country. Like I wanted to move to England for a year. I did, like this past like year. I was like plotting and planning to move to England for a year, and I was like, I'm gone. And of course, God was like, you ain't going nowhere, right? But that's what I want to do. But you know, wanted to do. So for me, I'm like, well, you know, I want to go by myself, you know, to England and Paris and all of that, right? But I also want to go with a future spouse, right? Like me and him, right? I want to go with me and him. And I'm not banking on him to have a bunch of money to pay for it. I don't know if he will. I don't know. But I know that in this season, I have the opportunity to be able to create wealth and get strategies. Thank you, Jess. And to be able to afford that, right? I know that when I get married and go on honeymoon, I just don't want to be gone for a week. I want to be like, if we want to go somewhere for 2 weeks or a month, we can go. Right? Because of something that I did while I was single. Now, I don't know what he's doing. Again, if you're just joining this, I don't know what he's doing. I don't even know who he is. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he has and what he doesn't. But what I do know is that in this time, I can motivate myself and I can do the thing that will create wealth to be able to give me the time freedom and the financial freedom. Right? And if he's doing the same thing, then it's just golden. Right? Then it's just golden. And so I'm motivated by that. You know, also, you guys know that, hey, Tamala, you guys know that I love to talk about Jesus. I love to educate people on the God of the Bible, like the supernatural, all the things of God. And guess what? You know, if I'm going to be able to go into different countries and do that, that costs money. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. God can teleport me from here to Mozambique, right? He could do that. But more than likely, he's going to put me on a plane, right? And I got to eat, and I got to pay for the flight, and I got to do all those things, right? That stuff costs money. And it's amazing to be able to go and do things to help people without the restriction, you know, being money. And so that's one of the ways where I stay motivated, right? I'll give you guys one of the examples that people are like, holy crap, how in the world? And if you guys wouldn't mind sharing this video, I would appreciate it so much. So people ask me all the time, how in the world did you go from being single to married, going through a divorced, and still not only building your businesses, still staying sane, but you went from earning $22,000 a year at your job to over $200,000 while going through a divorce? People ask me, how in the world did that happen? Well, from an unemotional standpoint, I was motivated, right? And so one of my motivating factors was that I was only making $22,000 a year. And $22,000 wasn't going to pay my bills. That was number one, right? Number two, I was like, I got to go to counseling. I need some money to pay for a counselor, right? Because when you go through a traumatic situation like divorce and all that type of stuff, it could really mess you up, right? And so I knew that I needed some money to pay for counseling, right? Number three, I never wanted to be in that situation ever again. Not in terms of him or whatever, but I never wanted to be in a situation where I found myself that my friends had to put me up in a hotel for a month. I never wanted to be in a situation ever again, right? And so I was motivated, right? I was motivated to go and find a better job, right? I didn't blame, oh, it's because of him. No, I said, okay, here is my reality. Here's the amount of money that I'm making. And if I'm going to go from here to here, something's got to happen. And I'm not going to wait for my mama, my daddy. I'm not going to wait for those people to rescue me when I have two hands and I have 2 feet. Was I an emotional basket case? Yeah. Right? But I could be an emotional basket case and productive all at the same time. Somebody go ahead and tweet that. You can be an emotional basket case and still be productive at the same time. Ooh, that was so good. You can be an emotional basket case and still be productive at the same time. I'm patting myself on the back. Okay? Tweet it. Tag me. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, this is what it is. But I've got to get moving. Something's got to give, right? And so I was an emotional basket case multiple times throughout the day, every day, like multiple times a day, every day. But I had to keep moving. And so I'll share something with you guys about continuing to move. You know how on a highway, like one of our highways here in Houston is 70 miles an hour. You can go 70 miles an hour on this particular highway, right? But when it's raining, like the way it does in Houston, most people are not going 70 miles an hour. They're going about 55. If it's raining real bad, then it's like 45, right? Sometimes we be going like 20. It just depends what's going on, right? Or even when it's snowing on the East Coast, right? But the thing is that if you're going to get home, you got to keep moving. Like whether it's 20,000 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour, you have to keep moving, right? And so for me, my thing was, what I'm going through is real, right? What my income is real. But I can't get out of this situation financially if I don't keep moving, if I don't keep applying for jobs, if I don't go on job interviews, right? I can't get healed from divorce if I don't acknowledge what is happening, if I don't talk to people that can help me, right? If I don't throw myself at the feet of Jesus and be healed through God versus, through people or whatever, nothing would change. And so there were times when I was like, I wasn't even going 1 mile an hour. I was doing like the military chest crawl. Y'all hear what I'm saying? There were times when I was just like in the desert doing the military chest crawl, right? But what I did do was I kept moving. So is any of y'all out there right now doing a military chest crawl? If that's you, just say that's me and just give me some hearts. I hear you. I hear you. And if you guys wouldn't mind, please share this video. I would appreciate it so much. And so there were times when I just did the chest crawl, right? But guess what happened? I kept moving, right? And eventually I started going 1 mile an hour walking, right? Then I was doing a slow jog, right? Then I picked up the pace, right? Then I got on a bicycle or got on a skateboard. Then I got on a bicycle. Then I got in a car, right? And I just kept on moving, right? Is that easy? No. But something in me said, nobody's going to do this for you but you. I don't mean God's not. I mean in terms of a human being in like, right, in the natural. You know what I mean? I said to myself, I have got to keep on moving. And fast forward, what happened? Let me see. Let me try to, outline the timeline. So I left my situation with my ex August 2014, right? I got involved in a network marketing company in October of 2014. By October of 2015, I had already made 6 figures with that business. I got hired for Sprint Corporate December of 2014 and started making 6 figures with Sprint, right? By September of 2016, I started If You Branded, my branding and consulting firm. And by September of this year, we've made well over $150,000, right? So let's just listen. I'm only calculating this to get to show you what happens when you stay motivated and you keep moving, even if you're only doing the military chest crawl. Listen, somebody do me a favor. I don't have a calculator. Can somebody do me a favor? Somebody just say me. I can do a favor. Calculate this for me if you wouldn't mind. September, 2013, I was making $22,500, right? From, what is it? August? Let's just say November. From November of 2014 to September of 2017. Let's calculate. And this is just a low ball, okay? Sprint, I made 6 figures. Let's just do 100,000, right? Total Life Changes, I made, let's just say 150,000. And If You Branded, I made 150,000. That's what? Oh my God, that's a lot of money. That's almost $500,000, right? I hope my numbers are right. 150 is 3, and then 400,000, right? Is that right, everybody? Sorry. I think I got it right. That's a lot of money. Is everybody with me? Thank you, Wanza. Are y'all hearing me? Holla if you hear me. Listen, if you heard what I just said, say, show me the money. Thank you, Jess. Just say, show me the money. Remember that? Show me the money. I love black people. Right? Remember that? Jerry Maguire. Right? That's a lot of money. And listen, my life is not all about money, but I'm giving you a, thanks, Wanza. I'm giving you a, thanks, Rashida. I'm giving you guys a literal example. Thank you, Jess. Right? So are y'all hearing what I'm saying? And so $400,000 in 3 years. So let's just say that's about 125, whatever thousand a year since leaving a situation. But was it easy? No, not whatsoever. You hear what I'm saying? Show me the money, right? But guess what? Something in me said, I've got to do this. I've got to succeed. I've got to keep moving. I've got to keep pressing. And I made the decision to keep pressing, right? That's like, let's just talk about my relationship with God during that time. Let's just not talk about money. So me and God had an okay relationship at that time. God was talking to me in dreams about before I got married and when I got married, and I just didn't know what he was saying. After that, he started really talking to me, and I was like, holy smokes, okay, right? And so we were cool, but one of the things I decided to do, because here's the thing, if you marry, you don't know what I'm talking about. When you married, there's somebody in your bed every night. Listen, read between the lines. When you married, there's somebody in your bed every night, and there is something available to you every night, right? And then not only the marriage bed part of things, but just the companionship. There's somebody looking at you like, girl, you so beautiful. Boy, you so handsome. There's somebody looking at you like that, and they're talking to you like that, and they're making you feel loved and adored and appreciated, right? So when you go through divorce, those desires for the marriage stuff don't change. Those desires for somebody to say, girl, you so cute. You look so good. Boy, you so handsome. That don't go away. Like, you know how you put an outfit on, baby, what you think? Right? Or you put the perfume or the cologne on for them. Like, that don't change. And so during that time, that stuff didn't go away. The desire for that. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And I was like, what is I'm gonna do? Because prior to marriage, I wasn't really dealing with that in a sense. Not to that degree, because I wasn't, when you get married, it's a whole different thing, And during that time, I was like, I'm desiring stuff. And I can't go and do stuff because I'm married. Right? Y'all hear what I'm saying? If you hear me, just give me a heart. Just give me a heart. Don't say I hear you, girl. Or type of ear or something. Do something. And I was like, Hoppo, who this woman? I'm just kidding. But I was like, what am I going to do? So I started praying. God, you got to help me. Because I started to see men. Like, when you're married, you try your best not to see men or the fineness of men. Jesus, man. Let me tell y'all something about men. God made man. And God did a really good job making men. What's going on out there? Okay, sorry. I think something's going on outside. And he did a good job making women for the men that are watching, right? I know y'all like, yes, God did a good job with women. Yes, God. Every curve, right? So during that time, I was seeing them. I was like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. You're at the gym. You're like, I don't see it. I don't see it. The guy running down the street. I don't see it. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Or the guy that's looking, or the guy that just walked past you smelling like he is Jesus' younger brother. Y'all know what I mean. Men be wearing that stuff. You be like, Jesus, I'm not even going to look. I don't see it. I don't smell it. You be doing this. Right? I'm like, oh my God. I'll give you guys a funny situation just because y'all know how I am. Years ago, I wasn't married or anything. I got on an airplane. I was headed to Virginia, I think it was. And and all of a sudden, the smell just happened. It was like, I was like, right? And I think I either looked over the seat or looked behind the seat. I can't quite remember. And I said, sir, what is that? Listen to me, y'all. This was like at least 10 years ago. Like a minimum 10 years ago. And I still remember this cologne because this was so fire. I said, sir, what is that? He said, oh, I just put some lotion on. I said, yeah. What did you put on? He said, Carolina Herrera 212. Listen, this is over 10 years ago. That cologne still sits with me. Do y'all hear me? Holla if you hear me. Carolina Herrera 212. I went and bought the stuff, right? I had this frat brother when I was in a sorority back in college, and we were not like that. We were just friends. And Binky, right? Terrence, if you're watching, what's up? And me and Binky, we were literally just friends. Like we were just like straight platonic friends, straight, right? And because I knew that, I was like, well, somebody got to wear this stuff. I used to buy him cologne. Here, put that on. Right here, put that on, right? I bought him expensive cologne, right? I was like, here, put that on, just put it on. Because I didn't want to do anything, but I wanted to smell the cologne. So I would give it to him because I knew I wouldn't do anything with him. It sounds kind of crazy, right? But it worked. It worked well for us because we wasn't going to do nothing and I wanted to smell, and so I got it, right? Sounds so crazy. I know this girl is crazy. And I still... Taisha said, out of nowhere, the enemy will tempt your flesh. He sure will. But we got the Lord to help us. And so I'll never forget that Carolina Herrera 212. So when I was going through divorce, I could smell men. I could see them. I could see them walking with all that extra, stuff that men be having. You know what I'm saying? But to stay motivated and to stay in right relationship with God, no matter what was going on in the marriage, I was like, Lord, you got to help me. And I was motivated to stay holy. Listen, I was motivated to stay holy because no matter what was going on in my situation with my ex-husband, I was not going to be set back even further just because of how I was feeling. I was not going to be set back further just because of how I was feeling, because feelings are fleeting. Now, did I do it perfectly? No, but I didn't. The last time I engaged in sexual behavior with a person was when I was married. But guess what? I am motivated. Hear me. I am motivated to make it down the altar without spot or wrinkle from a fornication standpoint, right? And I'm motivated. So what am I doing in my motivation? I'm talking to Jesus. We're having regular conversations. This morning I rewrote my list. It's going to sound so funny, but I rewrote my list of what my husband, what I need him to be. And it didn't have anything to do with, whatever, frilly stuff. But I was like, he's got to love Jesus. He's already living holy. He's already delivered from sexual immorality. He's already got men that he is submitted to that love Jesus, right? He is ready for marriage, right? I am attracted to him. He is attracted to me, right? So guess what? I'm motivated to keep myself pure for the Lord and for him. Because I know that when you have something pure, it's just, y'all see what I'm saying? So I'm motivated in all types of areas, right? But how do I stay motivated? I stay motivated because the Bible talks about what happens when you're holy, when you're righteous, when you obey and you're not in sin, right? So, not sure why y'all watch it this morning, but I'm preaching up in here. Y'all say preach. Remember that movie, Preach, Brother? What was that? I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? I think, what movie was that? I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? Preach, Brother. The little white girl. Was it the man? He was a Muslim, married to a white woman, and they had a black boy and a white girl. I can't remember what it was. She was like, preach, brother. Right? It's pretty funny. Anyway, so we're talking about this morning about staying motivated. Thanks, Taisha. Staying motivated. It's not easy. Listen to me. Right now, if I don't go to the gym, ain't nobody gonna know. Nobody will know if I don't go to the gym. But my heart will when I don't work it this morning. My stomach will when this muffin top don't decrease. My pants will when I can't put the joint on. I'm like, oh. Or my favorite dress next summer will be like, girl, you could not get these hips up in here. What you doing? Right? And so I'm motivated because I want to look good, for me. I want to look good for whatever. And then I want my heart to be good, right? And then I want to birth babies, right? And so in my singleness, I still can prepare my body for babies. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm on all types of things today because I know there's all types of people watching. But today we're talking about staying motivated. And the motivation comes from within. Now don't get me wrong, listening to CDs, listening to tapes, podcasts, watching people on Facebook Live, all that's going to help, right? And so you do all those things. But at some point, something in you has got to say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this for me. And you keep doing that thing for you, and eventually you begin to do it for other people, right? That's I know, one thing I know is that my life is an example of Christ, right? I love God. And there are people watching me for whatever, right? I know there's people watching me in business to say, if she can do it, I can do it, right? There's people watching me, waiting for me to meet somebody and get engaged and get remarried and have babies and say, oh, it happened for her, it can happen for me, right? And so because I know that, even if it's just one person, I'm motivated by that. When I think about when I think about having kids, right? I know I love God. I know I'm a preacher by nature. One of the things that motivates me about staying pure is my kids, right? I so badly, when I have that whole conversation with my daughter or have the conversation with my son and they say, Mommy, did y'all really not have sex till you got married? Because they're going to be like, I don't even believe you, Mommy. I don't believe you, right? Or my son asked my husband, like, did you really wait? Mama got that big old, right? I really want us to be able to say, yeah, we did. And I want them to say, how? How did y'all do it? And I want us to be able to say, well, before we ever met each other, we made a decision that we were going to stay holy for God. Like, it wasn't about her. It wasn't about him. But we made a decision that we were going to do it for God. Does that mean I didn't want her? No. Does that mean I didn't want him? No. But we were motivated because we wanted to make it individually and then together for God, right? And then my other motivation is the church. Whether we have a church or whatever, I want to one day be at an event and somebody is like, girl, but wasn't you married before? You was getting it, wasn't you? Yeah. And you like waited? How did you do it? I want to be able to say, well, first of all, the reason why I did it was because I wanted to please the Lord. And then I wanted to keep me holy and I wanted to keep him holy. And I wanted to be able to be here with you today to tell you that you can do it too. That you can be fine. You can have all the curves in the world. He can have on all the cologne in the world and be all extra everything. And you can still make it. Right? And I'm doing the shake because y'all know what I'm talking about. Right? You're like, woo! Right? You can do it. So I'm motivated by those different factors. And those factors are what motivate me every single day. And I have to make a decision on those things, right? And so today's broadcast is to have you take a look at your life, your business, your relationship, whatever's going on, and to say, okay, so what's my motivation? Short term and long term. Short term is going to get you going, and long term is going to keep you going. Okay? Short term is going to get you going, but long term is going to keep you going. Long after, like, the pain. Like, listen, oh my God. I was walking when I was in class yesterday, or doing something yesterday. I drove home from class yesterday. I'm in ministry school. And, sorry, I got something sticking in my leg, in my pants. What's going on up in here? Sorry. Okay, got it. I got out of the car and I could barely walk. I was like, ow. I was like, what's wrong with my legs? I said, oh, it's that exercise I've been doing in the gym. So does that make me not want to go in there today? Yeah, because my legs hurt. It hurts. But when I look at my muffin top, I'm like, you got to go. I'm motivated by the muffin top. Right? So, okay. So long after the mood or the feeling or the pain I'm in, muffin top got to go. Okay? Hashtag no muffin tops. For me. All right. Okay. So before I go, I want to ask, does anybody have any questions? We're here this morning about motivation. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? You guys, what I did was I was evaluating my business. I evaluated the people that I work with, and I decided to do something different that I haven't done pretty much ever. I decided that, because I've been working with a lot of people on one-on-one calls, that I was going to do two things. One, I am now offering discovery sessions. So if you're at a place and you're saying to yourself, I need some clarity about my life, my business, whatever it is. I'm not a counselor, right? You can book a 30-minute discovery session, right? A 30-minute discovery session. All you have to do is go to KeenyaKelly.com, click on Work With Me, Private Consult, and discovery sessions are just $97. Now, I was charging like $500 for the hour previously, right? But I decided to do something different. And so I have discovery sessions for $97 for 30 minutes. If you're saying, you know what, I really want a strategy session, whether that's with your life, your business, or whatever it is, I am now doing 60-minute strategy sessions for $300. So I just created discovery sessions, and then I lowered my consulting sessions, my strategy, by $200. Okay, so you guys, if you're interested in that, you can go to KeenyaKelly.com, click on work with me, and then private consultations. Our branding company, If You Brand It, does, we build brands, logos, websites, graphics, all of that. If you're looking to work with us or see some of our work, you can go to ifyoubranded.com. We would love to work with you guys. All you have to do is contact us, go to ifyoubranded.com, click on contact, and then we'll be able to help you. Okay, so if you guys have not already done so, make sure you like this page. I'm going to be going live from this page moving forward, and not my personal page. So make sure you like my fan page, Keenya Kelly. Like my page. And then that's it, guys. So I love you guys. Don't forget that if you brand it, they will come. If you brand it, they will come. So God bless you guys. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.